Hello, in this video I'm going to teach you about while loops. So basically what a while loop is it's a type of loop that goes over a certain code that you put inside of it as long as a condition is true. And you can make this in Java by typing while, and then you have your open parentheses here, and this is where you put your condition. So let's just do true. So while this condition right here is true, it will loop over whatever text I put in here again and again. So I can put system.out.println hello world, and because this condition right here is always true, this is going to be an infinite loop. So this will go on forever and ever. It'll just keep printing hello world. As you can see, it's just going on and on until I press stop. So yeah, that's how you make an infinite loop. And you can put, let's say I can do I can instantiate a variable I here, or declare, and then I can have a while loop saying that while I is less than the number 50, and we can set I to 0 here. While I is less than the number 50, we're going to loop over this code. This is actually also an infinite loop. Because I is equal to 0, and we're never changing I will never be 50. So this is just going on forever and ever. And let me press stop here. But if we do I++ and increment the variable I by 1 every time we loop over the code, this will only print 0 to 49, and it will stop right here because this condition is now false. And you might say, hey, this looks a lot like a for loop, and you're right. So we can have a for loop with x, and we're going to set it to equal to 0, and then x is less than 50, and then we're going to increment x by 1, and we'll print x here. So these are actually the exact same thing. If I run it, you'll see here. Yep. So we printed 0 to 49 here, and we printed 0 to 49 here. So these are actually the exact same thing because we're declaring a variable. Right here we have I, and right here we have x. They're both equal to 0. Then we have the same condition here. X is less than 50. And then we're upping the variable I or x by 1 every single time we loop over the code. So those are actually the exact same thing. But the while loop isn't just a fancy for loop, it can do so much more. If I have an integer array here, and let's call it int array, and we're going to set this equal to, let's say, let's just throw out some random numbers here, and 25. Okay, so now here's our integer array. So we're going to say while this variable, let's call it index, and let's set it to 0. So while index, or while int array index does not equal, let's say 25, then we're going to print out we're going to print out the object that it's currently at. So what this is going to do is this is going to go over every object in this array, or every int, because this is an integer array. So it's going to go over every single one, and until it reaches 25, then it's going to print out this number that it's at. So, oh wait. Forgot one thing here, very important. We have to increment index by 1. Very important. Otherwise, it would just be an infinite loop of 23s. So now if we run this, boom, here we go. So we have 23, 65, and 7. It went through every single one of these until it found the integer 25. And there are a lot of use cases for a while loop, and that's just one of them. You can do so many things with a while loop that you can't do with a for loop, and you can do so many things with a for loop that you can't do with a while loop. None of them are rather better or worse, but each one can do things that the other can't. Thank you for watching. That's it for today. Bye.